Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our channel. How do we determine the radius in this simple geometrical diagram? How do we determine the radius? Now, if you look at this diagram, of course, you've been told this is length is 2 units, 4 units, and 3. Now, if we extend the lines in this manner, then it means if from this point to this point is 2 units, then from this point to this point is also 2 units. Now, any line from the center to the circumference is the radius, meaning from O to this point. If you let it maybe we can say let this the point A, point B, point C, point D. So from O to B at the circumference is the radius R. Again, from O to D at the circumference is the radius R. Now, if you look at this diagram, if we let the length from O to A to be X, then it means from O to this point is also X. Now, at point C, we have 90 degrees. Again, at point A, we have the 90 degrees, in that the two lines were meeting at 90 degrees. Now, the first equation, we can use Pythagoras theorem here. If you take triangle OCD, triangle OCD is a right angled triangle. Now remember, from C to A is from this point is the same as from this point to D, is also 4 units. Now, taking triangle OCD, you use Pythagoras theorem. The hypotenuse is the radius R. So we are going to have the hypotenuse squared is equals to the one of the sides is 2 squared plus, then from C to O is 4 plus X. 4 plus X squared using Pythagoras theorem, whereby we have C squared is equals to A squared plus B squared. The hypotenuse squared is the sum of the squares of the two shorter sides. Then again, if you take triangle OAB, so if you take triangle OAB is also a right angle triangle, and you can see the radius is the hypotenuse. So there again, you will have R squared to be equals to one of the sides is X, that is going to be X squared, plus the other side is from A to B, which is 2 plus 3, 5 plus 5 squared. Now these two equations are for R squared, meaning these two equations are equal. So it therefore means that 2 squared plus 4 plus X squared, this equation is equals to this equation, which is X squared plus 5 squared, because both of them are R squared. So if you expand this, 2 squared of course is 4, then it is plus 4 plus X squared. You can use quadratic identity, then you get 16 plus 4 times X is 4X times 2 plus 8X plus X squared to be equals to X squared plus 5 squared is 25. Now, X squared will cancel on either side of the equation. We will remain with 4 plus 16 is 20 plus 8X. 20 plus 8X to be equals to 25. So if you take 20 the other side of the equation, then you get 8X is 25 minus 20. So 25 minus 20 is 5. So what is X? You divide both sides by 8, then you are supposed to get X to be equals to 5 over 8. Now, having found X to be 5 over 8, then you can use either of the two equations to determine the radius R. So if we use, for instance, the second equation, we found that R squared was equals to X squared plus 5 squared. So X is 5 over 8. So that is going to be X squared 5 over 8 squared, then plus 5 squared. So what is R? When you go to the calculator, squared is equals to 1625 over 64. So that is R squared. So if you get the square root of the answer, you are supposed to get R, 5 root 65 over 8. So the radius R is 5 root 65 over 8. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the simplest means to determine the radius in this geometry problem. Thank you for watching, and see you again in our next presentation.